If you're in a class of 100 people, 5 of them are dealing with major depression or have at some point. Look around you in any environment and you can be sure that a good portion of the people that you're surrounded by is impacted by depression or will be at some point.
People come to me all the time with a variety of physical symptoms that they've been completely unable to find out a reason why they're having these symptoms. They've been to like 1 million doctors, tried 1 million medications, tried all of the different crazy voodoo cure things that they can get their hands on because nothing is working. And I sit down with them and it's like super obvious that they have an untreated anxiety or depressive disorder.
What if your body has been screaming for help, but you just haven't been listening? Anxiety and depression don't always look like what you expect. They don't always appear as sadness or fear. Instead, they can disguise themselves as exhaustion, headaches, or even stomach pain, things we often ignore. But ignoring them won't make them go away. Today, we are breaking down the hidden signs you need to know. Number 1. Extreme fatigue.
The person just feels exhausted. It's not because they exercise too much. It's not necessarily because of a life event. It could be, but they're just worn out. They don't have the energy they once had. So it's not in their heads. It's probably, and now I think we have good data to support the fact that there's something off. Something is disrupted in the autonomic or so-called vegetative nervous system.
This isn't just your regular, I had a long day kind of tired. It's the kind of exhaustion that makes even the simplest tasks feel impossible. Getting out of bed feels like lifting a ton of bricks. Taking a shower feels like running a marathon. It's not about being lazy, it's about feeling drained, physically and mentally. People with anxiety and depression often struggle to sleep well because their minds won't stop racing. And even when they do sleep, they wake up feeling just as exhausted. Number 2. Headaches.
So I will see people that have gone through all sorts of crazy treatments for their headache and have been on every medication for headache under the sun, and they still have headaches. And then we find out they're super anxious or super depressed. And this kind of makes sense if you think about it. I mean, if you are anxious or depressed or have another mental health issue, you're probably going to be really tight in here, like your neck and your jaw, like you're clenching your teeth. A lot of people with mental health issues grind their teeth at night, and that can certainly cause headaches.
On top of that, mental health struggles often make people forget to drink enough water, eat proper meals, or get restful sleep, all of which can make headaches worse. If you are experiencing this, try small changes, stay hydrated, practice deep breathing, or even get a quick neck massage. Number 3. Nausea and stomach problems.
Nausea and vomiting are also super common in people with mental health issues. The nausea and vomiting can actually even occur at times that are totally unrelated to when you're feeling, say, anxious or super depressed. So, for example, you might have an issue with anxiety and you're not feeling particularly anxious at that moment, but you get really nauseous. And it seemed to kind of come out of random. And it's almost like your system is kind of out of whack.
Anxiety and depression can wreak havoc on your digestive system. Some people feel constant nausea, others get bloated, and some experience stomach pain or even diarrhea. Why? Because the brain and gut are directly connected, so when your mind is in distress, your stomach often feels it too. This is why people with anxiety often lose their appetite or feel sick even when nothing is wrong physically. Managing stress and eating gut-friendly foods like yogurt and bananas can sometimes help ease these symptoms. Number 4. Appetite changes.
That one could have decreased appetite because of the anhedonia, the lack of pleasure from food, right? If you don't enjoy food, then you might be less motivated to eat it. That makes sense. As well, because of these disruptions in the autonomic nervous system, these vegetative symptoms, as they're called, you can imagine that someone would have decreased appetite because some of the hormones associated with appetite.
Or maybe the opposite. Someone is constantly craving carbs and sweets. Depression and anxiety can mess with your appetite in both directions. Some people lose their appetite completely and start losing weight because they just don't feel hungry. Others turn to food, especially sugary and high-carb snacks, as a way to feel better, because sugar gives a quick but temporary boost of dopamine. If you notice these changes, try to create small, manageable eating habits. If you are struggling to eat, start with easy-to-digest foods like smoothies or soups. If you're overeating, try mindful eating. Pause before grabbing that snack and ask yourself, am I really hungry or am I just trying to feel better? Number 5. Unexplained pain.
Unexplained pain in people with depression and anxiety is so common. It is so common. And it kills me because people will go for years and years and years with this severe pain and, look for every type of treatment. I've seen people that have had multiple surgeries to try and address a pain syndrome that doesn't have a clear source. And the whole time it was severe depression or severe anxiety.
What many don't realize is that depression and anxiety can cause real physical pain. It's not just in your head, it's real physical discomfort that can make everyday activities feel impossible. And when we address the root cause, mental health, the physical pain often starts to fade or even disappear completely. If you've been struggling with pain that doesn't have an obvious physical cause, it's worth considering that emotional health could be the missing piece to the puzzle. Number 6. Shortness of breath and chest pain.
And we see things like shortness of breath, so it can be really hard for people to catch their breath for no apparent reason. Chest pain is so common, chest pain, chest tightness.
In fact, it can get so bad that some people think they are having a heart attack and rush to the ER, only to find out it's a panic attack. The sensation of tightness in the chest, difficulty breathing, and that overwhelming feeling of dread can be terrifying. But it's important to know that it's not life-threatening. With the right treatment and coping techniques, these physical symptoms can be managed. Number 7. Shakiness and heart palpitations.
People can also feel like palpitations or fluttering in their chest, so they might feel like their heart is skipping a beat. So that can be really scary, and it's actually not all that uncommon for healthy people to have their heart skip a beat every so often. But if you're someone who's very anxious and very sensitive to that anxiety, that skipped beat could send you into a tailspin and a total panic attack.
Anxiety has a powerful way of putting your body into fight or flight mode, which triggers symptoms like shakiness and heart palpitations. Some people even start to worry they have a serious illness like Parkinson's because of how bad the trembling gets. It's not unusual to feel jittery or like you are running on overdrive when anxiety is in control. If you're dealing with this, remember it's a natural but treatable response to stress and anxiety. Deep breathing, mindfulness, or simply grounding yourself in the present moment can help calm your nervous system. Number 8. Memory problems.
Okay, and finally, this one is kind of near and dear to me because I am a dementia doctor by trade, and so I work primarily with people with memory disorders. So we get referrals quite often, actually. I would say probably once a month I'm seeing somebody like this. And then when we talk, we realize it's a bad anxiety disorder or a bad depressive disorder, and those can trash your memory. Those can be really problematic.
This happens because your brain is so consumed with worry, stress, or sadness that it becomes difficult to retain new information. It's like your mind is constantly running on overdrive and can't focus on anything else. Some even fear they might have dementia due to the memory lapses. But when your mental health improves, so does your memory. By addressing the root cause, you'll be able to think more clearly and regain focus. And with that, we wrap up today's video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.